Everybody introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Enastra. I'll be running Dark Forces 2 today. I've been playing this game off and on for about 6 years now. This is my second time doing a hotfix, and I am super stoked to show off this game. It has a lot of really flashy tricks, and yeah, it's just going to be a good time. And I'll pass it to my commentator. Yep.
So, hello everyone, my name is Solnak. I'm also a runner for this game. I've been running this game since 2015, and I'm really excited for this run. So good luck, Enastra.
Thank you very much. All right, so we will get into it, and time will start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, so this is a Star Wars Jedi, Dark Forces 2. This is a game that's near dear to my heart, and one of my favorite games from the 90s. This is a first and third-person shooter that is also the second game of the Dark Forces / Jedi Knight series, and it features our main character, which is called Kyle Katarn, a well-beloved character from the Star Wars expanded universe, extended universe, legends, whatever you want to call it. So in the previous game, he was a mercenary, and just to set the setting for this game, this game was is set 2 years after, or a few years after the events of Return of the Jedi. The Emperor is dead, there's a bunch of Imperial warlords that are trying to take over the Empire, and one of them is called Jarek, which is a dark Jedi who wants to take control of the Empire, and is looking for the Valley of the Jedi, which is a huge graveyard with a bunch of Jedis, and he wants to take control of that. And also, he also kills Kyle's father. So this is the story of how Kyle takes revenge and saves the galaxy and all that stuff. And just as the name implies, this is the game where actually Kyle learns the ways of the Force, and he eventually becomes a Jedi. So for the first few levels, we are not a Jedi yet. We have only our gun and a few explosives, and just move around normally, but eventually we're gonna become a Jedi. So the first thing we're gonna do here is try to build up our force powers in order to go faster later on the run. And actually Enastra's doing that right now, by finding all the secrets in each stage. So in this stage, there's a bunch of secrets that he needs to find that are scattered across the map. And if he gets all of them, he's gonna be granted 1 force point. And by having a 1 force point super early in the game, he's gonna be able to unlock our first force powers in level 4, right when he becomes a Jedi. So for the time being, he's just going to move around, and this game is like a traditional FPS from the 90s. The movement's kind of similar to those games. For example, Enastra right now is moving diagonally. He's holding W and A at the same time. That makes it go way faster than running straight ahead. And the other thing he's gonna be doing later is gonna be using explosives to do a few skips. Actually, he's gonna go now and grab the explosive here. Nice.
Things get way faster and like way more chaotic once we get force speed, because we already move very quickly by doing the like strafe running, but with force speed, and especially as we like level up our force speed to the highest level, it goes very quickly.
Right. Yeah. But for the time being, we only have explosives and guns. And now, the item that Enastra picked up in the previous level is the thermal detonators, which in this game they function pretty much as grenades. And it's going to use that to do a couple of grenade jumps, 2 major escapes in this level. So we are heading towards the first one. It is very important that conserving your shields and health, because every time it hits one of those TD jumps, it's going to take a bunch of shields and HP.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta be careful with the Gamorrean skill. They do shield ignoring damage. And now we're heading towards the first one, which is this.
Close. So you pretty much just have to... Oop, that was not what I wanted to do. Time it. So close. There we go.
Nice.
Make sure to hit that quick save. So yeah, you're just trying to stack up the explosions so you can get Kyle to jump a little higher than he normally can, so you can get into spots that you shouldn't be able to get to, and you could ignore so much there's some of that shield ignoring damage. Very nice, very nice. And then there's 2 more in this level. So arguably the tricks in this level are like some of the hardest, if not the hardest in the game. These TD jumps, they're very off-putting for a new player. And we're coming up on the second one now.
Here, this one.
Nice, not bad.
And you got a nice second try. Let's go.
Sweet.
Yeah. That was way more precise than it looks.
And then there's the third one, which I don't know how to do, to be perfectly honest with you. So I'm able to burn a TD there to just ensure that I make that second jump that I did there. You don't need one, but it just becomes significantly easier with a TD jump. Otherwise, you wouldn't want to do that, so you can preserve your shields for the next one, which would be right here. Because what's going on in this room is in the background as I'm just clearing out these enemies. There's an elevator at the end of the room that we'll see. And when you first enter the room, it's always on the same cycle. And you have to wait for it if you don't do the jump, but the jump is essentially over there. You throw a TD at the wall, quick save, and then quick load, because that, for whatever reason in the game, makes it so that the TDs will explode on contact. So you have to throw it, bounce it off the wall in the right place, quick save, quick load, and then throw another TD at it to jump and land on this ledge and catch this elevator before it goes through the cycle again. So it's super time intensive, super precise.
Yeah, you pretty much have to enter this room and try to go right away to the place to do the jump. Otherwise, you're gonna miss the cycle. It's definitely the hardest trick in the run.
Yeah, but with that, we've cleared the first main hurdle, being level 2. Level 3 goes by pretty quickly. It's pretty straightforward. Not a very long level at all. And it does have another of the TD jumps. Yeah, you can make that jump and save a little bit of time. If not, you just kind of do a little bit more running.
Yeah, the backup. This one. Nice. And there's another skip here. And you're supposed to find a bunch of keys in order to raise a water level. Then it's going to allow you to move to the next area, but you can just skip all of that by going to this corner and doing a grenade jump over here.
And just like that, we skipped like the majority of the level.
Yes. It looks very simple, but it actually skips a huge portion of the level. And now we're heading towards the end of the level, finding Ouija, or the droid that's gonna give us our lightsaber. So this is the part where you become a Jedi. So this is why it was important, the point that you got in level 1, because you're gonna put it here to use force speed, which is gonna be your first force power in this game. And as the name implies, force speed allows you to go faster. You're gonna use it like now?
Right about here. So yeah, and then that combined again with that strafe running, even on the first level, it's like the first level of force speed, it's a significant improvement, and it allows us to skip good chunks of this level as well. But yeah, it just gets crazier and crazier from here as far as the speed.
Yeah, it's definitely the main movement tech in this run. Unfortunately, you cannot use it every single time here, because in the bottom right corner there's you can see a few particles. That's like our force pool, or mana pool, so to speak, and it's very low at the time being. So you can only use force speed in a certain sections of the level. And you're gonna use it right now to do one major escape, which is gonna combine the force speed plus our straight movement and also the explosive boosting.
Exactly, and I also need to be careful about my shields and health here, because this level will have the nice first try.
Nice, let's go.
So this level will have the first death warp that we'll see of I think 2 major ones, maybe one more, I can't remember. But yeah, this one will be using the TDs and the boost that they give to the player and pushing ourselves through a wall to essentially hit like an end level trigger. So I want to be low on health, but I don't want to be problematically low on health either. Like, I'm comfortable with 30 HP, believe it or not. But if I mess up, then you know I just can't take any hits in the last little area here.
It should be fine.
Alright, so coming up on this door, hopefully these people are nice to me. For 2 TDs. Didn't get that last one off. 1, 2.
There we go.
And then,
Yeah.
So the screen looks black. It says fire to restart the last position, but there's actually a bit of a cutscene going on in the background. So the sounds that we're hearing indicate that we have successfully pushed our dead body through a wall, hit the end level trigger. We also get 2 force stars. So now we're going to see level 3 force speed right away. And it's already a lot faster.
Yeah, you can see the difference. Especially when you're jumping through the water.
Exactly. This level is also very quick. It has another little TD jump, but not too hard of one. That guy can be a pain and get in your way sometimes. Nice. And
this is the last time you're gonna use grenade jumps, because you're gonna find a better weapon in the next level.
Exactly.
Exactly.
A rocket-propelled grenade, so to speak.
Exactly. Because just like I said, it's a video game from the 90s, a shooter from the 90s. So if we have grenades, we also have rocket launcher, and a rocket launcher is gonna allow it to jump higher.
Because this game also did have a multiplayer, and I don't know how alive the multiplayer scene is, but it definitely had to have the rocket launcher for the sake of that as well. So I just picked up said rocket launcher, the rail detonator, and we'll be seeing it pretty soon. The explosion that it causes is significantly larger than the explosion caused by TDs. So we'll be able to make essentially jumps that'll allow us to go higher. You can also use it to get to the top of this elevator. I won't, just for run reasons. And this is just like a little jump where you just turn into the wall so you can make that little clip there. And then we're going to rail depth jump here, get up here, hit these 2 switches, and then I am terrible at this jump for whatever reason. Nice. Beautiful.
Very terrible.
I have such a hard time with that one.
Yeah.
And then here, we're going to call down this elevator, which will have the end level trigger. I'm just going to count here.
Yeah, Enastra has to wait here until the elevator comes all the way down, and it's very important that he conserve his shields, because he's gonna use it for the upcoming 2 levels.
Yeah, exactly. So because you can, if you take too much damage in this area or the next, you can actually, a little bit of swag to spin avoid those shots. You can actually mess up the trick that comes after this fight here. So this is our first boss fight. It's not much of a boss fight. The major time consumption here is just this cutscene. Can't skip it, or not yet. We don't know how to. Maybe at some point we'll find a cutscene skip. But we're gonna try to use the force jump that we just got at the end of the last level to get an early hit against Yun here.
Yes. There we go.
Got it. Nice. And then we want to play close to this wall, because behind this wall are going to be the shields that are going to get us to full 200 shields.
Yeah, it's very important to get those for the next level, because we're gonna do a bunch of jumps. The first one is right over here. He has to jump and open this hatch, and now a rocket jump.
So grab this rail jet. That might have been good, but I didn't anyway. My mouse is glitching out.
Yes.
Anyway, stuff like that happens in this game. It's just that 90s charm of just random things happen. I'm just choking here. Okay. Let's try this without the rail jet just automatically shooting itself and ruining my life. It's gonna do it, of course. I don't even know how to, like, counteract that. Just... It's all going horribly wrong. Okay. If I hit this, then we won't have a problem, right? Surely? Okay, well. Why is it doing that? Let me see if I just have a backup save real quick. I might have to just restart the game real quick, just because it's taking over my mouse movements. Yeah. Just gonna hit a real quick restart.
Okay.
Because, again, these things just happen with the game.
I guess it's sort of expected when it's like a 25-year-old game.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game is like, it's very hard to set up. Unfortunately, they haven't done release remaster yet on this game?
It's actually has completely like crashed my computer.
Oh no!
Lovely stuff. Like I seriously can't click anything on my computer.
Do you need to like restart your computer?
I might. This unironically has never happened to me before.
Okay.
Let me restart my file explorer. Maybe that'll do it. Okay, might be good. Might be good. It would happen in a marathon, of course. Because I've had that like problem happen before, but I've never had it just completely stop my Windows from working. All right, let's give this another old college try here. Okay, back to it. If I could hit that, that would be nice too. Okay. Well, it didn't take over my mouse that time, so sigh of relief there. Nice, nice. Now I can actually showcase like my favorite strat in the game.
Yeah. Here you have to go around an invisible wall like that. Nice.
Exactly. Nice. Perfect. So this one is just ridiculous. I'm not sure who found this. I can't remember who found this, but absolutely credit to them. So what we're doing here is setting a bunch of explosives, and this is the second death warp that I was talking about.
Yes. You gotta land your corpse in the gray block that's in the there. That's gonna trigger the unleveled.
So close.
Yeah. Come on, let's do it.
That looks good. Nice. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, and then a cutscene is basically going to play out in the background. This is like the other death warp where we're just sitting through a cutscene, dead essentially. So while it looks like nothing is happening, we are technically saving time here.
Yeah, this was actually found like back in, oh my god, like almost 15 years ago by Random Engine and Explosive Cabbage. They did it like the first iteration of this run, and most of the tricks that they do is they found we still do in the round. So yeah, shout outs to them definitely, especially for this trick. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's so fun. But now we have level 4 for speed, so already like it's arguably can almost be unmanageable sometimes how fast you go.
Yeah, the only drawback of going fast is that there is collision damage in this game, so you run into a wall at full speed, you're gonna take a bunch of HP damage.
Which is something that we will utilize later, hint hint, wink wink, nudge nudge. But yeah, the game calculates your fall damage by velocity. So if you're moving too fast and run into a wall, you can just die. It's fun until it's not fun. Also here with some of these Ugnaughts that are hanging out, these little guys, we're going to want to make sure to kill some of them, unfortunately. Just because we're trying to get the dark side ending of the game, because the dark side ending is faster. Here I'm going to hit that elevator to get it to go down a little bit, and then hit that switch. That'll open up the next bit that we need.
So yeah, exactly. There are two endings in this game, the light side and the dark side. Dark side is definitely faster for two reasons. The first one is because of the force powers that we unlock. They're going to be useful for the upcoming boss fight.
Oh,
and
yes.
The second reason is that also it's going to remove a few cutscenes that we usually see in the light side ending, but we don't see in the dark side ending.
Exactly. And once we confirmed get the dark side ending, there's the little voice that we hear of Ron, and he's sometimes talking over the cutscenes, but he will just take his leave and not talk anymore, and that saves time, so.
Unfortunately, this is one of the longest levels in the run because you have to do all this waiting.
Because I'll show what happens here. If these doors, if you try to open up this door without closing the door behind it, it plays this really annoying sound. And then you can't actually press the button anymore. So we have to wait. But here, this is the second last one that we have to touch. These ones, for whatever reason, open up significantly faster, which is nice. And then just wait a little bit, a fraction of a second there to make sure that the one behind is closed, even though it is moving faster. Here's the other thing, fall damage in this game, if you hit a slope, it doesn't really count. So you can move really fast, like in these rounded tubes, but you won't actually take much, if any, fall damage. Another important thing is we're going to kill that guy and get his concussion rifle, which will be extremely useful for a number of concussion rifle jumps because it's just rail dead jumping, but better. So here, this elevator, I think technically you could do a concussion jump, but I'm not going to. Yeah. And then same with this elevator. This is a really, really long elevator, but there is a concussion jump you can do, mixed in with some force jumps. I've had mixed results personally, just because I'm not the best at this game. And sometimes it'll make me run out of force, and then I don't have force speed for the last part. But you essentially count down 5 of those checkered stripes, concussion jump, and then just force jump on these pillars here, all the way to the top. And that saves a pretty good chunk of time. But we're just going to do it the slow way. And then this guy here, you pretty much have to kill, not only for the dark side, but because he is in the perfect position to... If you run with force speed into him, you'll get knocked off and fall off the side and die. So... AT-88's reward, this level is not my favorite. It's very fast, you get shot a lot. I shouldn't have done that, I'm just going to restart. I do that sometimes too, where I accidentally left-click with the concussion rifle and just deal a whole bunch of damage to myself instead of right-clicking.
Yeah. That's a good thing about the concussion rifle. It has a huge AoE damage, so you can use it for, like, for example, there, open those doors. Exactly. Or just clear enemies down in a corridor, for example.
And it's very important in this level to have the concussion rifle for a number of different little tricks. This being one. Nice. Just a little concussion rifle to skip running up the ramps there. Like, that's what I mean. Like, these guys just love to get in the way. And then coming up here, there'll be 2 points where it's important. So for here, we're just using the AoE damage to destroy those grates to stop that fan from moving so we can enter. And then this is the second part where we'll be using it to do a little boost. Not quite.
You need to use the recoil of the gun to land over there.
There we go, nice.
Nice.
And then just because I have the chance, I'm going to demonstrate the velocity of this game and how quickly. 4 damage and I'm dead from that jump. Like, it's it's actually insane if you're not careful. And that was just me running with horse speed. So, and then, so again, this boss fight, it's pretty much the same as the Yun fight, where we just have to, I mean, just force speed and saber to kill them. No crazy big strat on this fight.
Unfortunately, there aren't many strats yet until we unlock our dark side powers. And there's a chance that these guys can actually parry all your attacks, and there's nothing you can do about it.
It's great. And then the small one can go invisible too, and we don't have foresight because it's just not part of the run. So. Okay, got one. Nice. Let me just pick up the head of the robot we've been chasing. That's that.
Excellent.
And now we're going to start putting force points into force throw, because that's going to be essential for 2 of the boss fights in the game. One of them you can use sequencers for, but the force throw strat is honestly just cooler in my opinion.
Yeah, it's cooler.
Yeah. So, this level is pretty much just run 2 objectives. The route that I take versus the route that the faster runs take is a little bit different. These doors need keys to extend a bridge to run across, but if you have force speed, because 90s game, broken speed mechanics, I don't know where my last quick save was, but okay, well, I guess we're gonna find out.
Okay, nice. So yeah, just like in many other PC games, this game has a quick save and quick loading system. However, you can press a key to quick save. However, you have to do a little bit of menuing in order to quick load. So every time you mess up a trick, you have to go over a little bit of menuing, which one by itself it doesn't make you lose that much time, but that time loss really quickly adds up. You are like you have to retry a bunch of tricks.
Exactly. Yeah. And I had a point on that, but I lost it. It escaped me. Oh yeah, that's it. The game can also just sometimes, like, if you quick save, quick load too often without like restarting your game, it can just crash on a quick save or quick load for no reason, or when loading a level, because again, 90s game, fun.
Yeah.
So here we're just completing the objectives and then running to the end. This level is very cut and dry. Don't want to go too fast here because, again, with the speed that you travel, you can just run into the wall there.
Yeah.
And then we're going to fire a concussion rifle shot here to hopefully take out that grate. Force speed. Follow this elevator.
Do the jump here.
Yeah, I could try the concussion jump. I can't promise I'll get it, but...
No pressure.
Ah, nice.
Nice.
And then coming up here is going to be the boss fight that A, might just crash the game. Okay, we're good. And B, this will be... It's always nice when you have to breathe a sigh of relief because the game loaded a level. But yeah, we'll also be showcasing force speed against the boss in this fight. And so we are quite literally going to kill Mr. No Legs here with boxes.
Yeah, exactly. There used to be a strat for this guy where we body block him and then just land a few hits on him, but this one is way cooler.
Make sure to quick save. So hit him once, and you want to drag him over to these two boxes, because these are going to be the key, basically. Hopefully hit him again. Nice. And you literally just throw boxes at him until he dies. And then we're going to put 2 points into Force Lightning there as well. And then that'll be the most that we're going to touch our Force powers for this run. Because we'll use that for one boss fight coming up, and then that'll be it for...
Yeah, now we are officially in the dark side ending.
Exactly.
We have Force Lightning, Force Throw. Those two abilities make their offensive force powers, and we can use it to just do a few quick kills on the upcoming bosses as well. For a very long time, Light Side was also the route for this speedrun, which Light Side has a bunch of cool strats as well, and cool powers like Protection, which allows you to do several rocket jumps without taking any damage, or healing as well.
Actually,
but eventually, Dark Side is way faster because of the cutscenes. Like, for example, here you go straight into the fight rather than you hearing the introduction done by Run.
So here's where
he's using
Force Lightning. Yeah, exactly.
Force Lightning spamming.
That was actually really quick.
Nice machine.
And yeah, we're not going to put any more points into any force powers. What we've got is what we've got for the rest of the game.
Exactly.
This is where the game becomes just pathing, essentially. Like, up until the last few levels, this is just running, hitting switches, hitting the right places.
Yeah, this is where for this level, it's just mostly movement based. I like to say that this game is split into parts. The first part is when you see most of the trace, grenade jumps, and building up your force powers. And then the second half of the run, is mostly like movement based, like you are doing right now.
Not quite. I'm so bad at this. I don't know why. And there's the velocity of the game. Just gonna give me like 42 points of damage for no reason. And that guy's dead body is going to hold up the elevator. Nice. And then here, we're not going to want to do a fully charged force jump. And just jump up here, hit some switches. And then coming up will be another showcase of how just important force speed is, because Kyle himself will say, I'm not getting in that way because there's an area up here. That's just a fan blowing air, but we are going in that way. Well, he says that, but if you kind of just angle run with level 4 force speed and then just kind of shift your view back and forth, you can, in fact, get in that way.
Yes. That's the combination of force speed plus the diagonal movement.
And then this part here, going up onto, that was not great. We're going up onto one of the, what I would call one of the more complex levels. Being Palace Descent. It's a lot of tight corridors, hitting switches, running, fun stuff like that.
And a lot of body blocking.
Yeah, a lot of body blocking. So this door, it opens up on its own. There's, like, if you force jump up that elevator, it doesn't actually go any faster. Nice. So I'm also going to be picking up some sequencers, which will be useful for the final boss of all things.
Right.
Which is kind of funny to think about, but get there when we get there. And then I'm also going to be essentially trying to get a box to fall in this room that I'm running through now, right there. So I just have to do some pathing, get the key to get into the control room, and like, yeah, this is where level 4 force speed in tight corridors with doors and switches and enemies, it becomes really, really, really difficult.
Yeah. The thing is that when you kill an enemy, the hitbox don't go away immediately. Like it start doing like the dead animation, and the hitbox is still active. So you kind of have to wait until the enemy completely dies until the hitbox goes away. That's why body blocking is terrible in this level.
And then kind of what's happening here is, for whatever reason, that box loses collision. So if you just crouch and walk into it, you can skip a large chunk of the level. Actually in really good shape for shields here. And then we're going to be doing another concussion jump coming up. But yeah, the bulk of this level is just, like I said, corridors and running. And just kind of knowing where you're trying to go. Nice. And then here's the concussion jump, which skips a whole bunch of the level. And now we're in the last little bit.
These levels are huge. This is huge. Especially you see that in the old secrets category. You know where to go, so it becomes way shorter.
And now we're in the last level that is not a boss fight. So we're actually going to be entering the Valley of the Jedi. Excuse me, fellas. More of the same in this level. There isn't much to it besides just running fast and knowing where to go. Put some backup shields there just in case, because the enemies really like to get in your way and shoot you all the time. Running past some Kell Dragons.
And now, puzzle time.
So here we're just hitting these switches that will essentially let us pass through the rest of the level. Some kind of puzzle of sorts, I guess.
Yeah, you know the solution. You just know how much of a puzzle.
Pretty much, yeah. So hit the first 2 switches 2 times each, and then hit that switch 5 times, and then it'll move these things out of your way.
Okay, right. The end is a mini boss fight.
Yeah.
Coolest try you can do here.
So this.
So you can use the rail detonators here. Yes, you're gonna combine it with the force lining in order to kill these guys. You can also use the force lining as well, combined with the rocket launcher to kill the enemy quickly. And now we're heading towards the final 2 bosses.
So this is one of the bosses that I don't use the faster strat, and because you can plant sequencers. He's also as his name suggests, he really is a nuisance. He can play nice or he can not play nice. But I'm gonna try to get him to follow me into a room here, but he kind of just does his own thing. Follow me in here. Just come right here. It's fine. And then we're just gonna spam horse throw to throw all the spikes in this room at him. So yeah. And now we're coming on to the final boss of the game, and this is also one of my favorite strats in the game, because we're going to be blowing up the final boss with sequencer charges or landmines. And it's actually a fun fact about this strat is it's not the let me just hit that real quick. It's not actually the explosion that's going to kill him. It's going to be the velocity that the explosion sends him into the ceiling. So hopefully I can get it. Might not have enough sequencers. Might have to restart. Yeah.
Yeah, restart. This is like loading too much.
So the game can be very heartbreaking that way, because you can have a good run right up until one of the last 2 bosses, and if they don't want to cooperate, they will not cooperate. There we go. So yeah.
There we go.
So we blew him up, and it wasn't even the explosion times coming up on credits. Yeah. That'll be time. And so it's not even the explosion that kills him, it's just the speed at which the explosion sends him into the ceiling. And that's the game. So, yeah.
GG's.
Appreciate it.
Do you have anything you want to talk about? Any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, shoutout wise, the community behind Dark Forces 2 and the speedrunning, a lot of really good people that really love the game. And if any of this looked fun to you, come out and try it, join the Discord. Everybody is super, super helpful, and always looking for more runners. So definitely check that out. Alnak, I don't know if you have anything.
No, as I just said, feel free to ask any questions regarding this game. I will say that all the games from the Jedi Knight Dark Forces series are really good speedruns across all the games, like Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy, and this one, and Dark Forces. Yeah, thanks for allowing me to comment this run.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you coming out. And if you want to follow more of me for whatever reason, I'm on Twitch and YouTube as Enastra. And huge thanks to GDQ for letting me showcase this game. It's pretty awesome. Big part of my childhood. The run is super, super fun. So I'm glad I could showcase it. And I hope that the viewers all enjoyed watching.
Yeah, thank you so much for showcasing it. Really appreciate y'all being on. It was a very good run, excellent commentary.